Watch as masked men shove this New Jersey mailman to the ground as he cries for Siri to call 911.
Scammers is now targeting postal workers in order to drain your bank accounts.
This menace just punched the mailman, scattering his letters across the street in a random act of violence. Unfortunately, it's not an isolated incident. Postal workers across America are under attack. Armed robber points a gun at this postal worker in Ohio.
Oh my God.
She pleads for her life. So why have postal worker robberies jumped more than 500% since 2019?
Scammers have figured out the best way to get your banking information and your credit cards is through your mail. And now they are targeting postal workers to do so. So in this video, I'm going to break down what the scam is and how you can protect yourself from these scammers from getting your personal credit information and draining your bank accounts. Subscribe to this channel if you want more credit and banking information, and you can download the free Heart Inquiry Removal Package at my website. The link is in the description of the video and in the pinned comment section.
The Postal Service is trying to get a handle on this wave of crime. Criminals are after the mail because of what's inside envelopes, things like personal checks. These crimes often begin with the attack of a letter carrier and a demand for them to hand over their mailbox keys. This is happening more and more all over the country.
U.S. mail carrier Jeremiah Grant was working his route in Oklahoma City 2 years ago when a masked man suddenly approached him.
And I turned around to greet him. He had a gun pointed at me. I just kind of froze.
And what did he say?
Give me your keys.
He didn't want your mail. He didn't ask for money. He wanted your keys.
That's all he asked for.
They're known as arrow keys in the Postal Service. They can open virtually all the mailboxes in a delivery area.
Now, through these master keys, these scammers can get a number of people, bank account, and credit information, and they can target businesses and even your personal information and sell it on the dark web. Now, through this, they can wreak havoc by causing identity theft to you and tearing down your credit scores. And additionally, they have your banking information to drain your bank account.
They're so valuable, it's against federal law for anyone unauthorized to be in possession of one. But that hasn't been enough to stop a nationwide wave of robberies, like this one in Brooklyn and here in Houston, by criminals trying to get their hands on a precious arrow key. In Philadelphia, this surveillance video captures a man on a busy street corner who says he has a gun threatening to shoot a postal worker unless he hands over his arrow key. And in Fort Worth, Texas, police body camera video we obtained shows a shaken-up letter carrier still holding her mail minutes after a man shoved a gun at her and took her key.
I saw this man come up and walk this way. I heard a click and I looked up and he had a gun. He demanded for my arrow key.
Our Scripps News investigation found these violent crimes are on the rise. And our data team mapped the location of all the robberies. We found reports of arrow keys stolen from letter carriers in 39 states and Washington, D.C.
Now, I even work for the post office, and my mom worked for the post office as a mail carrier. And it is bad enough with mail carriers, you having to stack that heavy bag and walk with that mail. And one of the biggest threats is being attacked by dogs. But now these postal workers, unfortunately, have a whole new hazard, and that's being robbed with guns and being physically attacked. All for these scammers to find a way to get at your banking and your personal information. Something really needs to be done about this.
Watch as this couple at an apartment building in LA. Within moments, they've stuffed 2 bags to the brim. Postal Police Association President Frank Albergo says mail theft has skyrocketed since the force was told in 2020 they only have authority to make arrests on post office property, not on public streets.
And here we are, we're in uniform, we're trained to stop mail theft, we're trained to protect letter carriers, and the Postal Service won't allow us to do it. I mean, it's mind-boggling. It's not a difficult concept. You put the cops where the crime is. The mail theft has spiraled out of control. The attacks on letter carriers has spiraled out of control. And quite frankly, the Postal Service is doing very little to stop it.
Now, them targeting business mailboxes and also personal apartment mailboxes, this is a gold rush for a scammer. They can get their hands on business credit cards, business bank accounts, and even personal credit cards and bank accounts, and they can just rob you through your personal credit information and your bank account information. Now, one of the ways you can protect yourself with my elite credit system, we use Smart Credit. And with Smart Credit, it gives you fraud protection up to $1 million, and this can cover you and your household. And it has Money Manager. They give you alerts with any suspicious activity going on with your bank accounts that you connect. And with my elite credit system, users like Greg was able to remove a collection within 12 days. So if you want access to this and my credit coaching and AI software, you can hit the link in the description of the video and pinned comment section and use these as tools to protect yourself and your family from these scammers.
So, what do criminals do with these arrow keys?
Criminals, we're selling those arrow keys for a wide range of prices, starting from $1,000 to $7,000,
One key could be worth thousands of dollars?
thousands of dollars.
Myman showed us some of the illicit online markets he and his team have infiltrated.
Oh, this one's offering to deliver you the key.
Same day.
One of the keys we saw going for $4,500 included a specific zip code. Another one had NY and NJ scrawled below it.
This is an arrow key which will open New York mailboxes. You see the price?
$1,200?
That's right.
Arrow keys are so valuable because once thieves have one, they can quickly steal troves of mail. Surveillance video of two masked men approaching a cluster mailbox outside her office. Watch as they use an arrow key to open these rows of mailboxes belonging to multiple businesses. In less than a minute, they load a black trash bag full of everything inside. They're after your checks, Myman told us, and they often end up on the same online markets selling those arrow keys.
Now, what they're doing with these checks, they're selling them on the dark web, or them themselves are actually taking these checks. And what these scammers do is wash them clean. So they will wash them in water, get the ink off, let it dry, and change the check up. And many can just turn around and do a copy because this has all your banking information. And if they get their hands on your credit cards, that's a whole nother issue. But with your bank and check information, they can immediately drain your bank accounts. And they're doing this by selling this on the dark web, and they are having havoc on millions of people when they get their hands on this information, and it's sold all around the world. And this theft is actually picking up, especially with this technology. So you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself and constantly monitoring your accounts and your credit.
This out, man. This is the $3 million IRS check. Wow. Unbelievable.
There are also handwritten personal checks for sale from all over the country for much smaller amounts that crooks can alter and then cash for a higher sum.
This one is very fresh as well. Let's say $35. My expectation is that these $35 will become hundreds of dollars.
Another check Myman shows us had been dropped in the mail just days before by someone trying to pay a plumber for toilet repair.
Chances are these people have no idea that their checks have been stolen from the mail and are now for sale.
Unfortunately, you're right.
New York City teacher Julie Scheinman never realized one of those checks was hers until we told her.
I have something to show you. Is this a check you wrote?
Oh my goodness. Yes, it's a check I wrote last week.
She says she mailed the $1,500 personal check at this mailbox.
This check has your name on it,
Oh no.
your address, your phone number, your signature, and we found this online.
It's the mail.
Now, this is a shame. This lady dropped her check in the mail to pay a bill. Now, just imagine you believe that you sent this payment off in the mail, and if it's connected to a loan, a credit card, you may be late, and this can ruin your credit score just in itself. Then, to add more insult to injury, someone can remove money out of your bank account with your banking information. Now, some of the ways to protect yourself, you want to make sure that you set up text alerts and email alerts with your bank accounts. Any withdrawal or activity, make sure you get an alert so you know what is going in and out of your bank accounts. Additionally, make sure you set up those alerts even with your credit cards. Any charges, you can immediately know if there's been fraud on your credit card accounts. And if fraud take place, contact your bank and credit card companies immediately so they can put a stop to it. Additionally, you want to monitor your credit. So any suspicious activity goes on with your credit report, you would get notified immediately, and you can lock your credit report to make sure these scammers don't get access to your credit and drop your credit scores. And make sure you do not keep all your money in one account. Spread your money across multiple accounts so if one get compromised, you don't lose your life savings. So hopefully this information was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comments section. But for more detailed questions for me, you can go to my website and all your questions go directly to my cell phone. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.